Yo, good morning to you guys. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to everybody. It is your boy, Seattle Rick 206, aka that boy Rick, aka they call him Slick, aka Rooster Tail Rick is in the place to be. Oh man. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday, y'all. Yeah, we cutting that short. It's Rooster Tail Rick now. We just, everybody sees the Hydro 2D, so we already know what it is. Other than that, I appreciate you guys, man. I hope you guys are well. Please take this opportunity to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are growing. I have more features to the game coming. We are definitely, my man Bruce is putting in the work behind the scenes. I'm going to put in the work on the screen. You know what I'm saying? We're going to promote this thing to the fullest. And once again, it's an honor. It's an honor and privilege to be able to tap into this game. Start the game up and see your name on the introductory screen. So it's been a lifelong dream of mine, and I'm going to push this and promote this to the fullest. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Please, please, please. Once again, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Sit back, relax, and come take a ride with your boy on the west side. Yeah, dig. We will be on the water momentarily. We are going to be reliving the 2021 hydro season. So you guys will have the footage in the background. We'll have some footage, um, that we can bring to you and all that stuff. So you know how we do. You know how we do. We're gonna be creative with this. So I appreciate you guys, man. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Also, we will have the Cash App shown. So if you guys feel like you want to support the channel that way, feel free. Anything and everything is much appreciated and respected. Thank y'all.
Heat 1A, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. The calm before the storm. I got many photographers standing out in front of me. I've got radio people standing out in front of me. I've got H1 officials. I got the drones flying. We're getting ready to go here. We are 2 seconds, 6 minutes. 6 minutes to the start. Keep an eye on the pit area over there. See if you don't start seeing some white water getting pushed as our boats come away from the dock. I am not sure we are going to see the 440, but we're definitely going to see the 9, the 8, and the 12. Haven't seen a whole lot of movement over there yet. They don't have to come out at 6 minutes. They can. We got one boat coming up and away. I'm being told the U8 with J. Michael Kelly and the U9 away from the dock with Corey Peabody. So we'll bring them across. Five minutes until the start. We have a green flag on the race course, 4 minutes and 50 seconds to the start. It's Heat 1A of the 2021 Lake Guntersville Hydro Fest, the race for the Southern Cup. Let's go hydroplane racing. It is about time. We've waited 21 months to do this. Let's hope we get a good one. Looks like J. Michael Kelly, if that's got the white cowling on it, it's certainly one of the Darrell Strong boats that is up at the top end of the race course. It looks like that's Corey Peabody coming up behind him at the three-quarter mark of the backstretch. J. Michael Kelly, our second fastest qualifier. Look at the water conditions out here. Everything is perfect. There is a very much a silence right here at Lake Guntersville as JMK flies across start-finish line here. Talked to this young man last night. All he wants to do is drive. All he wants to do is race. He said he probably wouldn't sleep much last night. Like all of us, he is excited to see this happen. Here comes his teammate. Here comes his grade school classmate. Here comes his good buddy. Also the top qualifier, Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consulting, the U9. And at the top end of the race course, our third boat. Apparently we are not going to see the 440. The top end of the race course. It is the U12, the Graham Trucking, Andrew Tate. I got a nickel. Jeff Ayler says I make a mistake on that, and I put J. Michael Kelly in that 12. It's just been too many years.
That's going to be tough to get used to, Brad, this year. JMK in the number 8, Miss Tri-Cities. Corey Peabody, top qualifier in the Pinnacle Peak Consulting. Here's Andrew Tate, dominant red with the silver and black, the U12 Graham Trucking. Brad, it's the race before the race. Your lane is not assigned to you before the start. This is the milling period. This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets very interesting, and a lot can happen here. Like Jeff said, this is the race before the race. Your lanes are not assigned. So you're going to come and fight for that lane as you see our two boats go down to the lower end of the race course. Tate is on the inside of J. Michael Kelly at the lower end. Looks like Kelly went around him. Before J. Michael Kelly could move to the left in front of Andrew Tate, he would have to have 7 boat lengths. He certainly got that now if he wanted to move, but again, we're still very early. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to the start. 2:30, now 2:25. J. Michael Kelly, you see him slow down up the backstretch now, and Andrew Tate has yet to put his foot in the 12, the Graham Trucking. He's just been slowly going around the race course. As Corey Peabody comes off the bottom end of the race course here, and he's running with a little more authority up the backstretch. It's Corey Peabody, J. Michael Kelly, and Andrew Tate coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the start. Heat 1A, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. There you see Andrew Tate cutting the race course from the back to the front. I mentioned that was a legal maneuver. He did it at the proper place on the race course, and there goes J. Michael Kelly across the race course, and he can do that. He can cut from the front stretch to the back when he is down at the lower end of the race course. That was legal. Now watch Tate as we watch the clock with 1:30 until the start. I think Andrew's going to go all the way down now with 1:30 on this 2.5-mile course. I like where Andrew Tate sits right now. He might find himself on the inside, but I'll tell you what, J. Michael Kelly is a master at getting lane 1. He's going to come off the top end of the course behind everybody. Will he cut the course and try and jump to the inside? It's got a minute 10. I don't think he's going to have to go around. I think he was too early to jump over and try and get in front of Andrew. So, coming out of the bottom end of the race course, it's going to be Andrew Tate there first. We're inside 1 minute 55 until the start. Heat 1A presented for the Lake Guntersville Hydrofest by the Redstone Federal Credit Union. 45 seconds until the start. It looks like it's going to be Tate in 1, Peabody in 2, and J. Michael Kelly on the outside as they'll go up to the top end of the race course. Now, it's those timing marks that they really haven't had a lot of time to experiment with here. But the idea is to take a race boat at 180 miles an hour, put it right here on the start-finish line, wide open when the clock strikes 0. And that's going to happen in 18 seconds. It's about a 16-second run off of the top end of the race course. And right now we are at 11 seconds. Whatever the timing is, they're going to come down here together because we are inside 8. In fact, we are inside 5. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. And finally, we are racing as Corey Peabody takes him across start-finish line. 21 months in waiting, and Corey Peabody leads him across down to the lower end of the race course. He's got J. Michael Kelly with him on the outside. Tate's right there on the inside, the Graham Trucking. So off the corner down there, it is Corey Peabody in the middle, and on his left and on the inside is Andrew Tate on the outside. You cannot see him. It is J. Michael Kelly. The start was good. Everybody was legal at the start. A real strong run up the backstretch. Oh, look at Tate start to gobble him up a little bit on the inside. Tater, you haven't seen Kelly. He's right there with him. Top end of the race course. Corey Peabody got to leave room in there for Andrew Tate. He certainly does. Plenty of lane space. Kelly on the outside. We're going to go 3 times around here. And it is Corey Peabody from lane number 2 with the lead. And second place will go to J. Michael Kelly at the end of 1. Tate is in third with the lane position on the inside. Corey Peabody driving that 9, driving it like a rocket. He likes this boat. He says he's getting more and more comfortable every day. Oh, look at the race for second place down there. JMK on the outside. You can see the skid fin wall. Tater on the inside. But it's still Corey Peabody coming smartly down the backstretch. He is showing you that there is no question that top qualifying speed was legit. And he's 3/4 of the way up the backstretch right now. Look at the race for second place. J. Michael Kelly on the outside. JMK's driving an awfully big race course out there in lane number 3. And now the white flag will be displayed. The drivers will come down. That white flag tells them they got 1 lap to go. Tate right on the buoy row. Tate was right on the buoy. I don't know if he hit it, but he did go in. Where is Andrew Tate? Oh, there he is. He hooked to the inside of the race course. We'll get back to Andrew Tate. Our leader is Corey Peabody. Second place, his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. That is, from my perspective, that is not going to be an issue with Corey Peabody not giving Andrew Tate enough room up there. I think there was plenty of lane space in there. I think Andrew just got a little tight to the buoy row, maybe fell in a hole and hooked it. I was about to say I thought J. Michael Kelly might sit back and let this one go, pick up the 300 second place points. But JMK is starting to move smartly up the backstretch. He's in the rooster tail right now of his buddy, Corey Peabody. Corey Peabody shocking everybody here with a dominant run in our Heat 1A presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. He's just got to come off the top end of the race course and come down and pick up a checkered flag. It flies for him. Corey Peabody driving a 9. Wow. Pinnacle Peak Consulting Group comes in first. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities, the U8, will come home in second place. Wow. They are telling the 12 and Andrew Tate to run an extra lap. That does not necessarily mean there is a penalty.
Need the perfect gift? Sephora
for Dave Villwalk in the 40 at the 3:45 mark. Gonna monitor the radio here. See if we can find, we are missing Dave Villwalk. Not hearing anything official right now at the 3-minute and 20-second mark as Jamie Nielsen cuts the race course. Jeff going to do the same? Yes, he is. Jeff's going to do the same maneuver as Jamie. Coming up on 3 minutes until the start. 3 minutes. Boy, what a development this would be, Jeff Ayler, if all this anticipation to get Dave Villwalk back in the seat and get him out racing. What a development if he did not show here for his first heat of racing.
Let's hope they can fix the problem if there is one at the dock of the U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave Villwalk, the all-time winningest driver in the sport of H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Racing. 67 victories, making his comeback after a 7-year absence. We hope he can make it, and Brad, he has to be on the course in a planing attitude prior to 1 minute.
And it is right now 2:30 until the start, so he's got about $1.20 to get that boat up on a plane, as Jeff said. He can't be plowing water, and it is a hefty penalty if he joins the race course after the 1 minute mark. So we'll watch that, and he's got about a minute 10 to make it out on the race course. Meanwhile, our two boats that are in the heat are at the top end of the course. Jeff Bernard is the first boat up there. Watch for Jeff to sit it right in lane number 1. I like where he sits right now. I think he can come all the way down and go all the way down to the lower corner. As we are now inside 2 minutes, we are at 1:50 until the start. Jeff actually would have an opportunity down here, I think, to cut the course if he wanted to. It's however he wants to play it. I think he's got plenty of time if he wanted to hit the throttle here and maybe run hard down and up the backstretch, do a lap in 1:30, don't know. But Jamie Nielsen might want to do something fancy here and maybe cut the race course at $1.25 before the start, but it looks like both of them are going to go all the way down. Jeff Ayler, 20 seconds, still no Dave Villwalk.
Looks like Villwalk will be a no-show here in Unlimited 1B. And Brad, right now I expect both drivers to be well behaved. It appears Jeff Bernard will be in lane 1, Jamie Nielsen in 2. That's good news for the J&D's team after struggles this morning. They'll make 1B. Brad, we're a minute away.
1 minute right there, and Dave Villwalk is not on the water, so the Beacon Plumbing to U40 is going to be a no-show. Jeff Bernard halfway up the backstretch, inside 1 minute, make it 50 seconds until the start of our Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. We're going to have a small field here, only a couple of boats, a little bit of a match race, but they can still hook it up and run side by side. Jamie Nielsen wants to get out there and measure his boat a bit. And what they mean by that is he wants to go out and run alongside Jeff Bernard, see what he's got. This is only the second or third time the boat has really run. Today was the first time the boat got in the water, and they started to put things together to see what they had. Now it's the first time they can actually go out and run the boat in competition. They're coming off the top end of the race course with 12 seconds until they start making 10, 9, 8 as they come to start. Can't cross the start finish line before the clock strikes 0. We're inside 5 here, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks like a legal start to me, and they're dead even as they cross the start finish line. Jamie Nielsen and Jeff Bernard hit the line exactly together with a lot of boats being. It is a good start. Down to the lower end of the race course. Watch for Bernard on the inside. Got a nice lane on the inside. Got a nice corner, but you can see that skid fin on the outside. Jamie Nielsen is right there. Up the backstretch. Bernard now starts to open up a little bit, but just a little bit. He's got about 3, maybe 4 boat lengths up the backstretch. Jamie Nielsen's hanging with him, Jeff.
Bradley working to turn number 2. Bernard has the advantage on the inside, shorter way around, and Goodman Real Estate presents this home screen. Nielsen back in second, and J&D's about 6 boats. Come off the turn. Bernard in front.
Bernard is in front, swings it out to about lane number 2. Jamie slides out to about lane 3, maybe 3.5. Coming down still very close together. Good racing here in our Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. Now it's Jeff Bernard out running right now. It's a 300-point run right now for Jamie Nielsen in second place. He's going to sit back. He's going to take it easy. He's going to let Bernard go. Second place at 300 points is nothing to sneeze at, as they are at the top end of the race course. On the third of 3 times around, the checkered flag is hanging here on start finish. Bernard negotiates the top end of the race course, goes out to about lane 2, maybe 2.5 or 3. He will come down. The checkered flag is waving. Jeff Bernard, winner of Heat 1B, presented by Redstone Federal Credit Union. 400 points for Jeff Bernard, but a nice run for Jamie Nielsen. He'll pick up 300 points, and they will be really pleased with that second place finish. I just high-fived one of their crew members. All he said to me was, baby steps. Well, they just took some good steps, Jeff. They've got to be really happy in that 11 camp right now.
Brad, you hit the nail on the head on that final time around for the 11, the J&Ds. 300 points for them right now with the struggles they had this morning. It's like $300,000. But 2 boats with heat wins here to begin the Southern Cup activity. Corey Peabody, Pinnacle Peak Consultant, winner of 1A with 400. Jeff Bernard with 400 here, and Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. When I came down to the Southern Cup, those were the 2 drivers I didn't think would get 400 after the first section. This shakes things up for tomorrow.
Certainly.
Limited Heat 2A, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority, the TVA. Very happy to have them on board. It is the second section of heat races for our H1 Unlimited. We ran Heat 1A and Heat 1B yesterday. Those heats were selected as far as the boats that competed in them via a blind draw prior to the 2 heats. Once those heats were run yesterday, all of those boat numbers / ping pong balls were put into a hat. A fan was asked to come forward and pull those balls out again in another blind draw, and that's how we selected our boats that will compete in our Heat 2A coming up here in about 7 minutes. Let's take a look at them. We've got 4 boats. It's the U8 Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly, a silver and black boat with a white cowling on it. J. Michael picked up a solid second place finish yesterday. U1 Goodman Real Estate presents the Miss Home Street. Got a driver change in this one this morning. Jimmy Shane is going to climb back in the cockpit of that one. He turned a lap this morning at 160 miles an hour. Sent a message up and down the pit area. They're here to race and they're ready to go. Also in our field for Heat 2A, the U11 J&D Chartreuse and Royal Blue, Jamie Nielsen got a solid second place finish. He brings 300 points into our second section of heats. Rounding out Heat 2A, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority, the U440 Bucket List Racing, predominantly orange. Make that Tennessee orange. Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles. They need points. It is questionable if they are going to make it in this heat, but they are drawn into it. We will call them 6 minutes. 6 minutes until the start of Heat 2A. Typically on a race course, Jeff Ayler, you know this, they don't let the boats come out until the 5-minute mark. But because that pit area is so far over there, they're going to let them come out now at the 6-minute mark.
At the long distance, a great gesture by H1 Unlimited. The drivers out in the very straight. Brad is racing H1 Unlimited. That's what makes it so unique. Your lane is not assigned to you. When you leave the pit dock, you'll explain that. That's why when you draw these balls out to set these heats, anybody can win. Depends on what lane you're in, get a good start.
Absolutely. You've got to get a good lane. You got to have clean water. You got to be at the start-finish line when a clock strikes 0, and you got to have a lot of boat speed. You better be moving when you get there. If you're a tick early and cross the start-finish line before the clock strikes 0, you win the opportunity to run an extra lap. We've got boats on a race course. Jamie Nielsen's going to bring them away from the pit area. Cities, 4 minutes and 40 seconds to the start of our Heat 2A. Coming off the top end of the race course here, Jamie Nielsen had their troubles yesterday. Most of them, we believe, were electrical related, similar to the problems they had at the Tri-City test session. They got them ironed out. The boat ran great. Jeff Ayler, quick run down the front straightaway. Boat looks good.
Jamie Nielsen comes in here with 300 points. Brad, he's cutting through the infield right now. That is a legal maneuver on this race course in the race before the race. Jamie is second yesterday in 1B. Brad, all the boats have to be in a planing attitude during the milling period, 80 miles per hour. That is monitored by H1 Unlimited through GPS. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2 to the left of us for 3 minutes and 45 seconds until the start. Your lane is not assigned to you, which we mentioned. Brad, this is what we call the race before the race. This is where the games begin.
They really do begin right now, and Jeff and I were talking prior to this. J. Michael Kelly is a master at getting the inside lane. We have seen him and Jimmy Shane go at this so many times in the past, where J. Michael Kelly has been able to steal lane 1 by cutting the course at the last minute legally. Speaking of Jimmy Shane with 3 minutes and 15 seconds, speaking of Jimmy Shane, here he comes across start-finish line in the Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. It is Heat 2A presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority, the TVA. Our boats are spread apart on the race course. I don't think we're going to see the bucket list racing out here. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to the start, Jeff. That means the 440's got less than 2 minutes to get out here.
Every boat has to be in a planing attitude prior to the 1 minute period. If you're not in a planing attitude, then you're illegal starter. Still waiting for the bucket list to leave the dock. Brad, we're approaching 240. 3 boats up and running. Well-matched field here. Weather conditions ideal. Water conditions perfect. Day number 2 of the Southern Cup.
Let's go racing. We're going to do it. Heat 2A presented by the TVA. Kelly right in front of us here comes across the start-finish line hard and then hangs it on the hook. That's what we call it. Now, keep an eye on Kelly with, what's the time? 2 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't think he can cut the course now. He could legally, but from a timing standpoint, I'm not sure that would work. You see, Jamie Nielsen just did. He cut the. Here comes Kelly. Kelly's going to come across. He's going to try and get inside Jimmy Shane, who's coming off the top end of the race course. Legal maneuver by both Jamie Nielsen and J. Michael Kelly. Now we'll see how Kelly and Nielsen want to play it going down toward the causeway. Still a minute 50 seconds until our start. They actually are a little bit early. Jamie Nielsen is a tad early, and remember, he can't go below 80 miles an hour. They'll have to go through tech inspection to find out if he really did, but he knows that. He can still make a legal start from there, but he's close. He's close. My timing marks, Jeff, you usually don't want to be at the start-finish line in 2 minutes. He was close. So Nielsen comes slowly off the lower corner down there. Kelly is in great shape, and you know Jimmy Shane behind everybody. He's in perfect shape. He can put his foot in it at any time and come up and join the other two boats. Now Nielsen has all of a sudden started to go. He knows he's too early. He can't cut the course down here at the lower end. He's got to go to the top end. So he put his foot in it. He's coming across the race course now. He's going to have to jump in behind. Watch him cut the course again. 1 minute. 1 minute. Now watch Nielsen go. Go, Jamie. Hang it. Here he goes. Nielsen will cut the course. He was too early. He was going to get up to the top end before he wanted to be there, and to be legal behind the start-finish line, he determined that he was going to have to drop below 80 miles an hour. A third place, last place finish was better than a disqualification. He made the right choice. 35 seconds until our start. Top end of the race course, and Kelly's early up there at 30 seconds now. You gotta like where Bernard sits. See if Kelly doesn't go wide to scruff off a bunch of speed. Now, Jimmy Shane, Jamie Nielsen, top end of the race course. Kelly's going to come down here on an inside lane, but he's lacking boat speed. That's the other piece to the puzzle. Got to be on time. Got to have clean water. You got to have boat speed. Kelly doesn't have it on the inside. 7 seconds, 6. Here comes our start. We are 3 seconds. 2, 1. Mark, and we are racing in our Heat 2A, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority. First across the line was J. Michael Kelly, but he didn't have much speed. He got gobbled up very, very good by the other two. Look for Jimmy Shane. Now on the outside is Jamie Nielsen, but you've got all 3 of them down there in the corner. Great sight. The start was legal. Everybody was legal. Now it's time to just accelerate off the corner. Look at Jamie Nielsen on the outside. And here comes Kelly. And here comes Shane. Yes, Jeff Taylor, this is a triple decker. Up the backstretch, they are side by side by side. You can put a blanket across all 3 of them. Kelly with the lane position on the inside. Got a little bit of a lead. Look at Nielsen in the 11. Oh, they got to give him room in there, and they did. Good luck off the top end of the race course. Kelly in 1, Shane in 2, Nielsen on the outside. Coming down to put one of the books, the first of 3. It is Kelly and Jimmy Shane. Kelly by a boat length. Jeff Taylor, this is dynamite racing in our Heat 2A.
Excellent dueling into turn number 1. Kelly to the inside, shorter way around. Shane to the outside, Nielsen back. There is Kelly at the apex, but Brad Shane is hidden in the tail.
Shane is there. He's on the outside. You still got 3 boats sharing the same rooster tail. But it is J. Michael Kelly up the backstretch in that Miss Tri-Cities, the U8. Look at him rock and roll. Shane doesn't want to let him go. Gonna hang with him on the outside. They are 3/4 of the way up the backstretch now. Kelly will set it up for the top of the race course. Nielsen begins to drop back just a little bit. This is becoming a 2-1 affair out front. It's rapidly becoming a J. Michael Kelly affair. Kelly lane 1 on the inside negotiates the top of the race course. He will come down, look to the right. He will see the green flag. He will come down and put it in the books. It is lap number 2. Here he comes. J. Michael Kelly opened up. He has opened up a full rooster tail. They've got a green flag up, but they have just changed it to a white flag. White flag, 1 lap to go, Jeff.
Each boat accepted the white flag. Last time around for all 3 participants, Brad Dynamite dueling after 1 lap, and Kelly gained superiority in that turn the last time around. I think Shane will let him go, settle for those 300 points.
300 points are big, and yes, I think he will now. I think he thinks the shouting is over in this one. Jimmy Shane on the outside. He's tipping his head in there going, all right, if I'm going to run with this JMK guy, I may have to be on the inside of him because Kelly has been dominant here in Heat 2A, presented by the TVA. Top end of the race course. Here comes Kelly. All he's got to do is negotiate the exit pin, slides out to about lane 2, and it'll be J. Michael Kelly. He will come down, look to the right, see the checkered flag, and 400 points to Daryl and Vanessa Stronge. U8, the Miss Tri-Cities, J. Michael Kelly. Jimmy Shane will come home in second place driving. The Goodman Real Estate presents the home street. And Jeff, from my way of thinking, maybe the surprise in that heat is right here with Jamie Nielsen. They ran well.
Jamie Nielsen done a wonderful job. He was just a little bit off on his timing marks, but I think the speed is on the upswing for the number 11 J&Ds. But race fans, how'd you like that after one lap? We had a triple decker on the back chute and on the front chute.
Yes, we did, and you got the Ayler growl one more time. Got to mix that in. I'll tell you what, Jeff Ayler, coming off that lower corner on lap 1, with Jamie Nielsen on the outside was our leader. Shane in lane 2 was in second. Kelly was back. You could see all 3 boats coming out of there, and they just tightened up all the way down the back chute. That was awesome.
It was fun how it determined out. Kelly was a little bit back, and then Shane had a beautiful start. All 3 had a great start, but what a beautiful sight. I can't wait to see the still photographs after that one in turn number 1. But Brad, the boats will go back. They will go through tech inspection. Also with the fuel flow, the N2, and our new rule this year, the GPS monitoring with the 80-mile-per-hour rule in the warm-up period.
We'll get that confirmation and information as soon as we can. We are working very closely with the H1 officials. But, I'll tell you what, that was a good start for the day. I get all excited. We probably should go listen to some music, but doggone it, that was fun. I want to do that again. Put some more fuel in them. Let's go.
Great call. We'll do it again at 11:30 with Unlimited 2B. We've got Andrew Tate, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Dave Milwaukee in there, and Corey Peabody, the story of yesterday. Will he be the story today? Especially at 4 o'clock for the Southern Cup.
Now, we were talking earlier that on paper again, maybe our Heat 2B was the one to watch. 2A wasn't half bad. I'll take another one of those. That was fun. All right, race fans. Deep breath. We got another heat in the books, and it was fun. It's
Yeah, Mike. Nice job, Mike. All right. Yeah, I'm right behind you. Mike's on the boat. Here's the lead star of the boat, though. Actually, it's Carson out here. Sorry, I thought I was going to go over. Yeah, we got to make sure. Yep, she's got Mike right here. Always get ahead.
You didn't go below 80, did you?
It's choppy. Are you on Wi-Fi?
No.
No, she said.
I opened this one.
Okay, it's better now.
Here.
She's gonna talk to Mike.
Dad, you look like this in the first video.
That's okay, man.
The pictures are thirsty too. Is what I can.
Here with J. Michael Kelly, winner of Heat 2A pending tech inspection. Mike, it was really tight going into the first lap. What did you see out there?
It was, we were up there a little earlier than we had planned, but it was kind of one of those deals where it was like, it is what it is. And, I didn't get a real strong run at the start, but I'll tell you what, this Miss Tri-Cities Strong Racing U8, it's got some ponies in it. It had some good top end. And, when we went down that first turn, I hadn't stuck it on the inside of anybody, out there racing yet. And she held right in there, and my boat ride was excellent. I think, I'm excited about it. It's a new boat ride. Just gonna, the more seat time I get in it, the faster it's gonna get, the more I'm gonna gel with the boat. Got an amazing crew. Got to thank Daryl and Vanessa Strong just for the opportunity, and you know, it's just a blessing to be here racing in front of a big group of fans and be here racing with my family, my wife, you know, with everything we've gone through. So it means a lot to be here and walk away with the heat win.
We have a question from fan Quinn. He wants to know how good it feels to be back in the boat after taking so long off.
Oh man, I mean, I'm a racer, you know, along with all these other guys up and down the shoreline, whether you're a crew guy or even a fan, and you know, not to be able to get out there behind the wheel or see these boats out there is tough on everybody. But man, just to get back out there and that rush, and you know, it's amazing. It's a great feeling. It's good to be back. I love this sport, and things are starting to feel normal again, which I'm super excited about.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lowe's knows the best deals are the ones that keep on giving. So don't miss our 25 days of...
He didn't hook, but he went inside. He was legal. He went back and picked up the buoys. And some new rules on that one. You hook, you go inside that safety zone up there at the top end. That's an immediate disqualification in years past. Not now.
Yeah, it was a tough break for Andrew. He had the lane positioning, but the boat speed was not there. And Brad, as you mentioned, if you're in lane one, if you're not there up toward the front, that lane goes away, you get wet, and that ruins your heat. Right now, these two boats, don't make a mistake. Make a good start, drive clean, put it back on the trailer, get the points you can get, and look to the third section. These two boats right now, with only two in here, the start and the finish, depending on the third run, they look good to make the front row of the final.
They really do. Yeah, the worst you can do if you're finished and you're legal is 300 points. They'll take them. So our boats are exactly across the course from each other. And here comes Corey Peabody. He's going to cut the race course and come back to front. We've seen this a couple of times. Looking at the watch, 2:30 until the start. Andrew Tate is already down toward the bottom end of the race course. Watch Corey here. Let's see if Corey doesn't, what do you think, Jeff? Maybe he'll jump across. He could make it if he wanted to hang it on the hook. He could have and jumped in front of Andrew. He decided not to. He will go all the way down. Meanwhile, Andrew Tate comes off the lower end of the race course, slowly coming up the backstretch. Quick note here, Hydrocross autograph session. They're going to be there in just a moment. Go on over there. They will be there momentarily. Hydrocross jet ski autograph session happening in the next couple of minutes. $1.50 till our start. Now it'll get a little bit more interesting up at the top end of the race course, Jeff Ayler. We got our two boats together. Andrew can look out the right side there and say hello to his buddy Corey.
Right now, Brad, Andrew Tate in one, Corey Peabody in two. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2. The next time around, you have to be in a planing attitude at the 1 minute period to be an eligible starter. Both boats appear to be in fine fashion to accomplish that. We're 120 away. Name of the game in this one, don't make a mistake. Leave your racing partner some room. Finish, put it on the trailer.
Yeah, and I think the way they're coming down the front straightaway here is the way they're going to race, because Corey really can't go anywhere right now. Not if he's staying right alongside Andrew. Now Andrew gooses it a little bit and jumps out in front of him. We're at the 1 minute mark, so these guys are going to run pretty quick up the backstretch. They've got to kill a minute. They will go all the way around the race course. You see Corey on the outside. Yeah, these guys are running pretty hard through the bottom end of the race course because they got 45 seconds until the start. They cannot cut the race course from the back to the front now. Before they come down to the start, they have to go around all the buoys at the top end of the race course. Okay, they've made up their time. They have now been able to pull their foot a little bit. Just now, inside 30 seconds until the start, going to be Andrew Tate in lane number 1, Corey Peabody in lane 2. 20 seconds till the start. You heard Jeff Ayler say it. He couldn't have been more correct. Run this one clean, guys. There's a lot of points on the table. Just pick some of them up, put your boat on the trailer, all in one piece. Inside 10 seconds, inside 5. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. And we are racing in Heat 2B, presented by the Tennessee Valley Authority. The start is good. The start is good. Now down to the lower end of the race course. This will be interesting. Corey had so much speed yesterday. Is he going to be able to drive around Andrew Tate? As Andrew Tate found the beans into 12. Well, so far he has. Tater comes off the corner. You can't see Corey. He's right there with him. He's about a boat length and a half back. Good racing up the backstretch. Boy, it looks like one boat, Jeff. It's 2.
They work into turn number 2. Andrew Tate on the inside, but Peabody is there hidden, Brad. Tate will get there first. Hangs it on the hook. Peabody, where is he? Brad, when they come to you, you should see both boats off the turn.
All right, look for Corey Peabody. Where is he? There he is, right on the hip of Andrew Tate. Great call, and he went inside. He hooked inside of Andrew. He's still running, but he jumped to the inside. That cost him a carload of real estate. And then clearly there is damage on the air scoop above the cockpit of Corey Peabody's boat. I don't know what happened to him. All of a sudden, the boat just moved hard to the left. He got into the rooster tail of Andrew Tate, and that's going to be the story here of our Heat 2B. But, Jeff, back to what you talked about. He's still running. He's still running. Everything is good. Now, just run clean, pick up some points.
As we mentioned in the warm-up period, don't make a mistake. You just saw it happen off turn number 2, working the first lap. And Brad Peabody limping on the back chute. He has 1 1/2 laps to go to score 300 points, but right now, it's all Andrew Tate in front.
Yeah, this has got to be a real good uplift here for the U12 and a Graham Trucking. The white flag is going to go up. It is going to go up for Andrew Tate. He was driving the daylights out of that 12. Unfortunately, the last time down, Corey got caught in his rooster tail. That was going to be a strong run down the front straightaway on our lap number 1. But now it's the white flag, lap 1 to go for Andrew Tate, and he can pick up 400 big points. When Corey comes by, look above the canopy, look above the cockpit. You'll see that air scoop is not correct. He's got definite damage up there. And only because I was in the pit area on Friday night, I know for a fact that there is another air scoop for the 9. It is white. It's what they've used before. They will work on that boat and get it ready. Obviously, the boat is running fine. He's just taking it easy, and to Jeff's point, picking up the second place, 300 points. Andrew Tate, meanwhile, working through the top end of the race course all by himself. The bright red Graham Trucking, so much work done on that boat over the last 2 years. Starting to pay off, and it's going to pay off with a checkered flag here in Heat 2B, presented by the TVA. Andrew Tate picks up his first heat win for Rob Graham, Tom Anderson, and the race team of the Graham Trucking. It's Andrew Tate. The story of yesterday was all Corey Peabody, and I'm not sure the story of today wasn't going to start the same way. He was going to make a charge, Jeff. He was coming.
Corey Peabody with that mistake, but Brad, he will limp across the start-finish line buoy to get these 300 points in second. And Pinnacle Peak Consulting, Heat 2B, brought to you by the Tennessee Valley Authority, and that was close to being an absolute disaster. He got in that tail. How did that 28-foot, 6,700-pound unlimited hydroplane stay right side up? Corey Peabody's a lucky man.
Corey Peabody is a lucky man. His canard wing is a little bit different than everybody else's. He's actually got a 2-piece canard up there, and he's been learning how to handle it. Well, he just learned how to handle it in a very difficult situation. But again, the good news is Corey Peabody finished. He's got damage on the boat. They do have, as I said, another air scoop that they can put on there. They'll just check it and see if there is any other damage to the motor, but the boat seemed to be running fine after the fact. So want to remind everybody again of our Hydrocross Jet Ski Autograph session going on right behind us here at start and finish. I'm going to step out here for a moment and see if we've got people back there. We do. They are there. We've got fans there. They've got room. Hydrocross drivers, they are there. Fans, go have a conversation. Talk to them about what it's like to drive a jet ski the way those guys do. How many years they've been doing it. They would love to talk to you. Hydrocross Jet Ski Autographs.
Here's all that sack of wax back in the day, and I know you have no idea what I was just talking about, young man. Get on some things. Gary, do we need to pull it back to the crane or just do it? Yeah, we can do it slowly. Hey, Gary. I know. Yeah, buddy. Woo!
Andrew, interview. Here with Andrew Tate, winner of Heat 2B pending tech inspection. Andrew, you had a good heat. What was your strategy going into the mill?
Get lane one, get a good start, lead him to the first turn, and dictate the race course just like he did for me yesterday. So we get to that first turn first. Long straightaways, corners are actually relatively tight, so kind of interesting race course, and I don't know, strategy all came into play. The guys worked their butts off all day yesterday. We had me specifically kind of let them down, so to come out here and get them 400 points right off the bat is a relief and a good step in the right direction.
Corey went through your.
You know, a lot of people think that in order to conceal carry, you're going to need
And black, so let's hope they can get it out and make a run. Meanwhile, check the clock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Jamie Nielsen cut the race course, got himself on the backstretch in front of Jeff Bernard. So we're just having a real slow roll here at 2:30 for the start. Nothing fancy right yet. Jeff's been pretty quiet, but then we've only got two boats there.
Situation as in 2B, everybody needs to be well behaved right now. Drive your race, drive a clean race. This is the final preliminary section of the weekend. Get those points, get ready for the Southern Cup final. You do not need to make a mistake here, as we saw back in 2B with Corey Peabody. Brad Luce, we're approaching the 2-minute period. 2 minutes away.
2 minutes to the start of our Heat 3A, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. It's the 2021 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest, the race for the Southern Cup. Coming up on 1:45 until our start, 1:45 to the start. So watch for Jamie to go all the way down to the lower end of the race course. Watch for Jeff to go down there behind him. I like where Jamie sits this time a whole lot better than I did last time, although he's still a little bit early, I think, Jeff. My timing mark on this race course, and it's totally unofficial. I always say you don't want to be at that entrance pin at $1.30, and he was down there about 120, 121. So we got 113 this time. If Jamie can hold it above 80 miles an hour, he was very close in that previous heat. They really had to look at the data, but he was legal, so I think he'll be okay this time. But if he wants it, I think he can secure lane one. Jeff, will he do it with that boat? He hasn't spent much time in it.
I think it's an ideal situation right now, Brad. The 1 minute period is come and gone. Vilwalk again. An unfortunate did not start. We're down to two. Jamie Nielsen and Jeff Bernard, 45 seconds away. Mr. Luce, bring him to the green. green flag.
Thank you very much, Jeff Ayler. Now keep an eye on that black and gold boat. Now you see the pedals start to go down. Look for Jeff to really try and run this thing hard to the start-finish line. Look at the speed with the 1 versus the speed at the 11. We've still got a lot of real estate to cover, and we've still got 25 seconds. It's only about a 12-second run off that exit pin down to the start-finish line. My watch says 16, so they may have to hold it back a little bit, and you see the drivers having to pull back a little bit. When are they going to put their foot in it? We're inside 10, coming up on 8. Now they start to accelerate to the line. We are 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark! And we are racing in Heat 3A, presented by Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. It's a good start. They were close. Those were probably the 2 best starts of the weekend. On the outside is Bernard, inside Nielsen. Nielsen stows his nose first. Where is Jeff? There he is on the outside, the home street. Goodman Real Estate presents the Miss Home Street. But look at Jamie Nielsen run right with him. Nielsen on the inside, Bernard on the outside. Good deck-to-deck boat racing up the backstretch. Now, the rules say that Jeff Bernard cannot move to the left and take lane 1 unless he has 7 boat lengths on Jamie Nielsen. Clearly, he doesn't have it. Nielsen's right there a boat length back. So Jeff Bernard's got to get him 30 feet of lane space. He does, driving him clean, as we like to say. Now it's acceleration off the corner, trying to come down to put the first of 3 laps in the book. Jeff Bernard on the outside. Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street, but he's only got about 3 boat lengths. Really good racing, Jeff. He's got about 3 boat lengths up.
Picture perfect dueling as they go into turn number 1, working the second time here in the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce Unlimited 3A. Bernard is there, but Brad Nielsen shorter way around. Will he tighten it up?
Boy, Nielsen is just not going to go away. He's in that left side rear view. Oh, he picked up the right sponson. He really flew it. Jamie Nielsen, but he settled it back down. He is trying to run down Jeff Bernard. We were talking to Jimmy Shane over here about 10 minutes ago, and he said the boat's a rocket. When he's talking about the boat, he's talking about the home street, which means Jamie Nielsen's got a rocket by the tail as well. Top end of the race course. Not much has changed here. It's about 2 boat lengths. Bernard drives him clean, gives him plenty of room. Off the corner, they will come down. They'll find a white flag. There's 1 to go. Jeff Bernard. This looks like the last lap, Jeff.
2 complete, 1 to go, an Unlimited 3A brought to you by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Bernard in front as they work into turn number 1, but Brad Nielsen's there. Will he close?
He's going to have to use that inside lane to his advantage and tighten. Look at, there he is again. Nielsen is just not going to go away. He's back about 4 boat lengths as they get to the exit pin of turn 1. This is the 3rd of 3 times around the course. Jamie Nielsen hanging right with the Miss Home Street. Great racing here. We only had 2 boats in the heat, but let me tell you, they're putting on a great show as these guys are approaching probably 175, 185 miles an hour, right about there at the top end of the chute. Nielsen closes it up a little bit. Nielsen right there. He's back by a boat length or 2. Off the corner, got to be Nielsen and Bernard. Jamie's got some extra beans this time. This is going to be close. I think it's going to be Bernard. It is going to be Jeff Bernard by about a boat length and a half. Holy smoke. Jamie Nielsen really showed us something there. Jamie closed in that last corner.
Boy, the U11 J&Ds with Jamie Nielsen, you see cutting into the infield. Let's hope there's not a problem with the 11. But fans at Lake Guntersville, how'd you like that deck-to-deck dueling?
I think they like it, Jeff. That's good stuff. I know I did.
Me too.
That is, and Jamie has dropped down. Jamie has dropped down right after they crossed start-finish line. He
5, 4. Him is 3, 2, 1. Mark. 5 to the 5.
Hi, Peyton.
Question.
That was his thing.
780 points. They're going to be joined by the U12 Grand Champion with Andrew Tate.
Culver. I know their buddies are Culver. Maybe Culver might be right. They're real buddies with Culver. She's not.
We think all of these boats, nobody makes a mistake out there. They're all in good shape to be on that front row of the final.
Exactly, Brad. Lots of pins here, too. Again, you want to be careful with your driving. Last preliminary heat of the weekend here for the Southern Cup at the Lake Guntersville Hydro Fest. Any one of these three could win it. Corey Peabody's back out here. This is going to be a contest.
Ready to go. Despite what happened, and there was some damage to that boat, not just to the air scoop, but also to the front canardway. There was some damage, no problem. They've got it taken care of. 5 minutes, 35 seconds, 5:35 until the start. One thing we need to mention, we've been talking about how you can tell the U8 and differentiate it from the U9. The difference has been there's been a white cowling, which is the big air scoop just above and behind the canopy, a white cowling and air scoop on the U8. It was silver on the U9. Well, that one was damaged. The only one they have as a spare is white. So they're both going to be white out here, but we'll help you keep them straight. Coming up on 5 minutes, mark. 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3. We got 3 boats on my sheet of paper here. We got 3 rooster tails coming across. Jeff, you ready to go? This should be fun.
Brad, it should be fun. 1 point as all 3 come out. Andrew Tate has scored this weekend, but Brad, I don't think it's Andrew's caliber we've seen the first 2 heats of the weekend. I think he'd like to get a good start here, see how that Graham Trucking handles turn number 1 at full throttle in top competition. I think Andrew would like a good show here.
I think he would too, and you just said a very good point there. He's going to do it in good competition. It's an opportunity for him to go out there and measure himself against these guys. And these guys are the strong boats of the weekend in more ways than one. Daryl and Vanessa Strong owning the 2 boats. But they have been very, very strong this weekend. Top 2 qualifiers are sitting on the top in points right now. 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 5 seconds until our start. There is J. Michael Kelly's boat. That is the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. Coming down the straightaway here, this is Andrew Tate, driving the predominantly red, trimmed in black and silver, the Graham Trucking. Kelly cuts the course to the back, and now you see the white cowling. The white cowling on the deck of the U9 of Corey Peabody. To Jeff Ayler's point, Corey Peabody had that issue in the last heat. He wants to go out here, run clean, run strong, but make sure he finishes. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:30. Here comes JMK with a legal maneuver across the race course here from back to front. 3:20 until the start. J. Michael Kelly will now cruise slowly down the front straightaway. He'll pick up some timing marks that his radio man will tell him you need to be here at such time, and now you are there, do this, do that. It's all about timing runs. Look at this, gonna have a couple of boats get close together here. This could get a little bit tight. Watch it. Oh boy. There may be some conversations about that one. There are rules about how that has to get played, and I'm not sure those rules were in place right there. It's tough to see without being able to look from above and see the lane spacing. The boat that is on the race course has the right of way. We'll let the officials make that call. 2:30 and still until the start. J. Michael Kelly leads the parade up the backstretch. Andrew Tate running second place behind him, and here comes Corey Peabody up as we approach 2:20, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That was an interesting little maneuver there on the front straightaway, Jeff.
I've said it since 2B. No need to be aggressive. Don't make mistakes. All 3 drivers here are guaranteed.
Watch it again, Jeff. Here they come. Both of them are coming across again.
All 3 drivers guaranteed a spot up on the front row. And Brad, at the first Southern Cup, you saw an incident here on the front chute, similar to that, where 2 boats tangled, got some damage. This was not as close, but it was still a little bit frightening.
Yeah, it sure was. That is Corey Peabody, who's leading them down into the lower corner. Checking on the watch, 1:43. Oh boy, that might be a little early, Corey. He's down there at 1:35. Corey Peabody at the entrance pin. Andrew Tate's behind him. Mike, what do you want to do? Mike says, I'll go all the way down to the lower end of the race course. We are inside a minute and a half, coming up on 1:20. 1:20 until the start. Remember, our boats cannot drop below 80 miles an hour once they are on the race course and running. So that would be recorded on the black boxes in the boat. That information would be found during tech inspection. Do not drop below 80 miles an hour. If you do, you can only do it once. Inside, 1 minute, Jeff, 55 seconds.
Brad, by my marks, Corey Peabody leading them up in turn number 2. He'll probably creep and crawl to the start-finish line. Andrew Tate, a little bit better start sequence, but look for J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities to come across at full song. Brad Luce, we're 38 seconds away. Bring him to the green flag.
Time to go race it here in Heat 3B, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Corey is definitely early. How wide will he go? He will not. He's going to stay on that inside lane with 25 seconds until the start. But you notice the speed he does not have. Watch Kelly on the outside. That's the last boat up there. J. Michael Kelly was on the inside last time and slow. This time he's going to be on the outside with speed. We're inside 10 seconds. We are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark! J. Michael Kelly appears to have nailed the start. A carload of boat speed and right on the line. We'll make sure the start is official here. Waiting for the word from the officials. Look good to me. And look what a good start. And look what a lot of boat speed does for you. The start is under review. Start is under review. We will call them the way they are on the water. And the way they are in the water right now is J. Michael Kelly with a rooster tail over Andrew Tate. And it is Corey Peabody lacking behind everybody. Man, Kelly, if he was legal, Jeff, he just wired that start.
That was a smoking Bill Muncie start. Brad, we're getting unofficial word. Corey Peabody running in third could have a one-lap penalty for that lane infraction prior to the start cutting through the infield. But it's all JMK, but the start is under review.
Thank you very much, Jeff. He's monitoring the official radio. We'll get the official calls when we have it. But for J. Michael Kelly, it's 1 up. It is 1 down. It is 2 to go. Assuming he is legal. Andrew Tate flying at 12. He comes across to complete lap number 1. If that is indeed correct, what may have been the case with Corey Peabody, that might explain why he is not pushing things too hard here in this heat. Now up the backstretch on lap number 2. J. Michael Kelly, this thing's running like a rocket.
We did get official word. Corey Peabody, a one-lap penalty in Pinnacle Peak Consulting for the illegal maneuver in the milling period prior to the start.
Thank you very much, Jeff. So, it's just a 1-lap penalty, so he will simply have... And now we are being told the start is good. The start is good, so J. Michael Kelly nailed it. That was an incredible start for Mike. He had all the boat speed. He had it right on the line. So close, they had to review it. Kelly, your official leader in our Heat 3B presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Andrew Tate comes across in the 12 to Graham Trucking. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, Jeff and J. Michael Kelly would like to have that start around 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's what you need at 4 o'clock this afternoon for the Southern Cup Final. Be at that start-finish line buoy at full song, full throttle with not jumping. That could be key. Kelly really in front, followed by Tate and Peabody.
Peabody's going to be okay. He's going to pick up, if he continues to run, he'll pick up third place points. That's 225. He came in with 800. He'll be fine. He'll still be on the front row of the final. Remember, the points go out the window at that point. It is a winner-take-all final. But here comes our winner-take-all here in Heat 3B, presented by the Lake Guntersville Chamber of Commerce. Give it up for J. Michael Kelly, the driver of the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. Kelly with a victory here in Heat 3B. Second place, Andrew Tate will come across in the 12. He will be comfortably transferred into the final heat. Good run for Andrew Tate. And then at the top end of the race course, they've got a checkered flag flying here, but I believe that should be a white flag. We will check it with the officials. So Corey will come across. We'll keep an eye on the flags. Keep an eye on Corey. I don't think Corey will head back to the pit area. I think Corey's got to run one more lap here. I think he knows. I think we had an issue there maybe with the flag. Corey's still running through the lower corner. He's not headed back across the lake. Corey Peabody, but again, Jeff, it's really not going to hurt him. He would have loved to have had a better showing, but he'll take those 225 points, put this heat out of his mind, get ready for a final.
He has a half a lap to go to get those 225 points. And Brad, we mentioned in the milling period, we've done it for 3 heats in a row. You don't want to make a mistake, and it seems to have a pattern here on this Sunday afternoon, but all 3 of these drivers will transfer up on the front row of the final with Jamie Nielsen and Jeff Bernard. Checkered flag out. Brad, bring Corey Peabody down to score those 225.
Here he comes, Corey Peabody, top qualifier for the weekend. Had a great day yesterday with a first place finish after that top run, qualifying run. He's had some issues the last couple of times, but you know what? Erase him. He's on the front row for the final. Corey Peabody driving the 9. Pinnacle Peak Consulting Group out of the Tri-Cities area. Corey wanted to make sure, regardless of what happened, he wanted to make sure he picked up those 225 points. He got them. That'll put him on the front row. Good racing there, and we can talk about what you have to do to have a good start. That was a picture-perfect definition. You can be on the line right when the corral is still full with orange and black, so let's hope. Let's hope they can get it out and make a run. Meanwhile, check the clock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Jamie Nielsen cut the race course, got him.
For 70 years, we've played a major part
To the start of our Heat 1A, our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, the fastest race boats in the world, can now come out on the race course. The first boat away from the pit area is the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. So that was the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing. Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by Dylan Runney. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to be joined by the bright red Beacon Electric U8, driven by J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael Kelly's teammate, Corey Peabody, drives the U9. It's predominantly white. It is the Beacon Plumbing. And rounding out our 4-boat field in our Heat 1A is the white trimmed in black and gold Goodman Real Estate. It's U91. It is driven by Andrew Tate. Our boats can cut the race course. I'm expecting we're going to see some of that happen here very quickly. But before we get to that, as J. Michael Kelly is going to cut across the race course, the start of our Heat 1A is just a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the fastest race boats in the world. John Walters, I made a comment that I expected a couple of the boats to cut the race course. They all did.
Yeah, the race started the minute they pushed the button to leave the dock there, and you can see they're all running fairly close together. The start is huge here. These are only 3-lap preliminary races, so if somebody gets a jump on you, it's tough, as fast as all these boats are, to make up that difference and make up that distance. And you're going to see guys that want to have the inside lane. They're going to try to drag guys up there early so that they can maybe get them to jump the gun or make a mistake. You have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. That's kind of a judgment call now, and as Dylan cuts across the infield here to try and pick up that inside lane as everybody else is coming down the front straightaway here. So it's going to be a battle from the very beginning. Just like we said, this is a heavyweight championship, but it's going to be 4 different fighters.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're coming up on 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, for those of you that have never seen this before, we're not racing yet. That doesn't mean we're not in the middle of a competition right now. Watch J. Michael Kelly. Is he going to make a move? I thought maybe he might jump across to the backstretch, but no, that would have been a legal maneuver, but he did not. He went all the way down to the bottom of the race course as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start. Remember, our boats do not have assigned lanes. They are jockeying for position. So wherever somebody is on the course right now, that may be where they want to be. It may not be where they want to be. As John was talking earlier, you've got to have a plan B, C, and sometimes D when you get out on the race course. We will begin our 3-lap preliminary Heat 1A in 1 minute and 50 seconds. John, they're all up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runney's going to come off first.
Yeah, the way this race course is set up, at the 1-minute gun, you want to be between, about the apex of turn 1 here and the exit pin. It's a short run down that back straightaway, especially as fast as these guys go. So you're going to see everybody try to get down there, and like you mentioned, you're either at where the spot you want to be on the race course or where you would think you want the competition to think you want to be there. So a lot of this is just head games, and a lot of it's playing the game.
And another piece to this puzzle that we talked about earlier, but not yet during this heat, the boats cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. So that really affects how you fight for these positions. You can't just go park in a lane at the top end of the race course. You have to maintain at least 80 miles an hour. That will be determined by the officials when we finish the heat and the boats come back to the pit area and they look at the data recorder. So now inside 1 minute, they were pretty much where you were talking about, John, and right now it looks as though Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street, is going to sit in lane number 1 up the backstretch. That's going to be his teammate Andrew Tate sitting in 2, lane 3. Looks like Corey Peabody, but we're going to watch where J. Michael Kelly might slot. He's coming up behind the boats, and we are inside 35 seconds. John, they're at the top end. We're going to be racing here inside 25 seconds.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape. Dylan may be a little bit early, and you saw J. Michael Kelly last week, get up there too early, and he had to make a decision. Do I jump the gun or do I get disqualified? If you jump the gun, at least you get to continue to race. It's about 7 seconds off the exit pin, and here they come.
Inside 10 seconds now. They come down to the start. It is Runny in 1. It is Tate in 2. It's Peabody in 3. On the outside, J. Michael Kelly. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks to be legal from here. We'll call them as they are on the water. And John Walters said that Dylan Runny didn't bring a lot of boat speed down as he was early. He's going to trail the field into turn 1. Our leader on the outside is J. Michael Kelly, but he's already been passed to the left of him on the inside. By that is going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and inside of him it is Andrew Tate. It is Tate. It is Peabody up the backstretch. Halfway through, Peabody on the outside. He's up by about 3 boat lengths. But now, John, it's that inside lane position that Andrew's got at the top end.
Yeah, Corey's really in the best position here because he can control, how wide and how early, they get into the turn there. So he's going to try to hold and maintain that radius around there as they start down the straightaway towards the start-finish line at the end of lap 1.
A boat that's showing me an awful lot of speed right now is J. Michael Kelly because he's staying in the mix here and he's running the biggest race course on the far outside. Our 4th place boat across the line is Dylan Runny in the Home Street now, down to the lower end of the race course. It is still Corey Peabody. He's running in lane number 2. He's holding Andrew Tate to a nice tight line on the inside. He's driving him legal, John. He's giving him enough room, but he's not giving him any more.
Yeah, he's not giving him any extra, and he knows exactly where he's at. He's got spotters that are telling him he can see the race course himself very well, and he knows as long as he can pinch, Andrew in that first turn there, that he's going to have to come off the throttle to maintain his boat speed so he doesn't slide out into that rooster tail. So he's actually controlling the first turn, even though he's not in the first lane.
I've been making the comment all weekend long that nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle, and once again, he's out almost by a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly on the far outside has got his sight set on Andrew Tate, but that's going to be a tall order as the boats go down to the bottom end of the race course for the 3rd and final time. Our leader off the exit pin, Corey Peabody, got almost a full rooster tail now on Andrew Tate on the inside. Tate, our top qualifier. Our Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody was our 3rd fastest qualifier, but John Walters, they've got a good race setup, and he's walking away from our top qualifier up the backstretch.
They've got an excellent race setup. The water was good. Corey did a really good job, and like I mentioned earlier, lane 2 is the place you want to be here. This is a big, wide race course with big turns, and boy, you get on any farther outside than that, it is a long, long ways around these turns, but Corey was in a position to control that first turn and really put him in a position to win.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody in the U9. Beacon Plumbing, 2nd place, is going to go to our top qualifier, Andrew Tate, U91 Goodman Real Estate. Then it's J. Michael Kelly in 3rd, driving the 8. That is the Beacon Electric. And the man who was a little bit early at the start, and you saw how it can cost him, Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Home Street. You talked about it, John. You said maybe Dylan was early. He was. He came off the corner. The other guys were behind him, got to put the foot down. They brought the momentum to the line. And unfortunately, as you said prior to the heat, you can't let these guys get the jump on you because they're just too quick. You'll never catch them in 3 laps.
Exactly. And in the old days, you used to be able to sneak up there a little bit early and you could back off the throttle. You could, use up some extra time going wide in the turns or whatever. But if you drop below 80 miles an hour, you're going to get penalized now. So you put yourself in a real tough position. You want to get up there and put yourself in a good spot to be able to get the lane that you want without having to forfeit the boat speed. And Corey did just a great job, kept the boat in good, clean water. J. Michael did a great job keeping the boat in good, clean water. Unfortunately, that effort that Dylan put on to try and get the inside lane cost him boat position. So that was a real tough thing for him to have to deal with. And short 2-mile race course here, as fast as these boats are, the chances of driving around these guys on the outside are not good.
Shoutcasting.
Minutes. That is the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing at the 2023 Home Street Bank Cup and APBA Gold Cup. Here's who will be racing once again in our Heat 1B. It'll be boat number 11. It is the Legend Yacht Transport presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. It's driven by Jamie Nielsen. It is Chartreuse Royal Blue. It is trimmed in red. It's going to be joined on the race course by the predominantly red, trimmed in black and silver U12. The Graham Trucking rookie Bobby King will be behind the wheel of that one. Bobby will be starting on the front row. He is fully qualified. Then you've got the U40, the boat John was talking about, that he thinks he may have everybody covered in top end speed. That's not everything, but it's a lot. Dustin Eccles will drive that beautiful blue and yellow hydroplane. It's the U40, the flavor pack. Then we have our qualifying driver, Gunnar O'Farrell, driving the U60, the Beast Unleashed. Presents Miss Thriftway. He's got to start on the outside of the field, and he's got to start 5 seconds behind the clock. So we are just a few minutes, in fact 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from the beginning of our Heat 1B, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones racecourse. It's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I was checking that little blurb. I had to read about the safety aspect. I'm looking at the race course. It looks as though maybe one boat cut.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles cut in the flavor pack just past the start-finish line on the backstretch to the front stretch as they came down. Everybody started on that side of the race course, so it was real short to get to the race course, with the exception of Gunnar. He's over here on the lagoon side, so he had to drive all the way around, which works out just fine for him because, as you mentioned, he'll have to start on the outside lane in 5 seconds off the clock. Now, that's important, the off the clock part, because some of these guys, if they have a problem, they could be off the clock themselves, 3 or 4 seconds. He doesn't have to be 5 seconds behind them, but 5 per second after the clock strikes 0.
And we just had an interesting maneuver because Dustin Eccles cut the race course again a second time, but as he came out of the infield and re-entered the race course on the front straightaway, it was made very clear last night at the drivers' meeting, if you come from that infield, as we're watching Bobby King do right here on the front straightaway, when you do that, you have no right-of-way. The boats behind you, coming up behind you, have the right-of-way, but it worked out well for Dustin Eccles because he was way in front of Jamie Nielsen, and he made sure to give his boat a squirt, so he got away, so there was no interference with a boat that was already on the race course, that being Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. Up the backstretch with 155 until the start. Dustin Eccles is up there first. He might be a little bit early. John, you were saying he wanted to be down here at the lower end at a minute. Remember, he can't just slow the boat down. He's got to stay above 80 miles per hour.
Got to stay above 80 miles per hour, maintain a planing attitude. And you want to be about the apex to the exit pin when the 1 minute gun goes off. Now, you've already heard and seen some jockeying going on. If you hear that popping and banging out there, that's a compressor stall where the bleed band is locked closed, and it's getting down to a point where the bleed band is closing and the fuel control gets unhappy and the compressor stalls. Dustin's a little bit early there. If he backs off the throttle here, he risks going under 80 miles an hour and could be penalized a lap or even disqualified. So as we're getting for the countdown for the 1 minute gun right now.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. I think Dustin's going to be okay. He went deep into that corner to scruff off a little bit of time. Now he can swing it back into an inside lane. The boats don't determine their final lane until the entrance pin of the upper corner up by the bridge. So they could still see a lane change at this point, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's the way they're going to come to the line. Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Flavor Pack, is going to sit in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen. That is in the Legend Yacht Transport. That is the Chartreuse and Royal Blue. Then it is going to be Bobby King in the red trimmed in black Graham Trucking to U12. We'll have Gunnar O'Farrell on the far outside and trailing the field coming to the line. We are inside 20 seconds until the start. Watch the boats fan out on the top end of the race course, and then a run down to turn number 1. And we are inside 10 seconds now. Look at Bobby King. He's got speed bringing it to the line. Is he too early? We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark. Boats are across the line. Bobby King appears to have a good start, and it is a legal start. It is legal. Bobby King, the rookie, going to take him down to the lower end of the race course, but he's got Jamie Nielsen with him, and also now Nielsen takes over the lead on the inside. Off the corner and coming up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport looking strong. Again, another good start for Jamie Nielsen. John, as they go up the top end of the race course, but he's got company in Bobby King.
Yeah, Jamie made a really good start up there. When Dustin got up there a little bit early, he had to slide out wide just a little bit, and Jamie slid inside of him there, got the number 1 lane. So, like I say, I think that Flavor Pack boat's got a little top end on everybody here. Jamie was able to, reel in Bobby there in the 12 as they got down there, and boy, they've got a real good race going here as they go to the first turn at the end of first lap.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 down to the bottom end of the race course. It is Jamie Nielsen in lane number 1. Bobby King with a good start and a lot of boat speed is sitting in lane number 2. He is in position number 2. And then keep an eye on Dustin Eccles. You said he had top end on everybody. He might, and he's going to try and use it, and he's got his sights set on Bobby King. The race may be for second place, but I'll tell you what, Jamie Nielsen cannot relax. He's got a right side rear view mirror that is full of the rookie Bobby King. Graham Trucking running very strong up the backstretch. We are in the middle of lap number 2. Still anybody's race up at the top end. Where is Gunnar O'Farrell? There he is. He's halfway up the backstretch. So O'Farrell is still running in 4th place. Jamie Nielsen's going to come down and put 2 in the books, and that is going to be in 1st place. But look at the run for 2nd place. Here comes Dustin Eccles on the outside, the Flavor Pack. He flies the 40 as he drives around Bobby King on the outside, but King's going to have lane position on the inside. This corner's going to be very interesting for our 2nd place battle. It is the Flavor Pack, U40 Dustin Eccles. He has now taken over 2nd place. He's holding Bobby King in tight, but our leader with a full 2 rooster tails over those 2 boats remains Jamie Nielsen. Legend Yacht Transport presents the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouses at the top end of the course and looking strong. Don't count out Bobby King. He's still got lane position up here, and Dustin Eccles is going to have to drive a great big race course to go outside the wake of Jamie Nielsen. But coming down to pick up a checkered flag here, at least unofficially in our Heat 1B, Jamie Nielsen, U11 Legend Yacht Transport. 2nd place is going to go to Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. 3rd place to Bobby King in the Graham Trucking, the U12. And coming off the top end of the race course in the U60, the Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway rookie Gunnar O'Farrell. He will come by and he will score. That was an interesting start sequence because we're getting some really good examples of coming to the line too early, having to pull your foot out, lose a little boat speed, etc. And we can see how it can cost you. But I was impressed with the rookie, Bobby King. He put that 12 across the line first. There were others with more boat speed, that being Jamie Nielsen. Should be a good one. We're coming up on 4 minutes until the start of our Heat 2A, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. J. Michael Kelly cuts the course from back to front, a legal maneuver. There's another cut right there. Johnny jumped right back over to the backstretch again. Illegal maneuver by J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, I think JMK is looking over there and he sees Jamie coming up on the inside lane, and Jamie's been really good at it, getting that inside lane and making great starts. So I think J. Michael knows he needs to have the inside lane here in order to win, and so he's not going to let Jamie get too far ahead there. I think he's just going to pace him here, and you'll see a real battle there.
Down at the lower end of the race course, Dustin Eccles driving the Flavor Pack, and boy, did he go deep into that lower corner. Watching the clock, everybody is. Remember, for those of you who are new or may not remember from this morning, the lanes are not assigned when they leave the pit area. They are fighting for those lanes, and this is what we call the milling period. John Walter, sometimes referred to as the race before the race.
It definitely is the race before the race, and like I say, I think that you're seeing one going on here right now with Jamie Nielsen and J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael's working real hard to move over and take that inside lane. He's just kind of pacing him behind there, and now you see Dustin, cutting across the infield here, looking to get into that the hunt for that inside lane as well. So right now they're all in really good shape. Like we talked about in the earlier heats, you want to be about the apex to the exit pin or the first turn there when the 1 minute gun goes off, and then you can cruise down the back straightaway, and it's only about a 7-second run from the exit pin to the starting line.
And you were talking about J. Michael Kelly and Dustin Eccles maybe trying to find a way inside of Jamie Nielsen. Meanwhile, radio personnel to Jamie Nielsen are saying, don't move, don't, oh, look at this, look at Andrew Tate. He's going to jump over to the backstretch. Now, Andrew does not have a right-of-way here. He's got to be careful, and J. Michael Kelly went right through the rooster tail of Andrew Tate, and I'm telling you right now, the officials are going to take a look at that one. The boat that is on the straightaway has the right-of-way. J. Michael Kelly had the right-of-way there, and it is going to be a question about Andrew Tate. A boat entering the course from the infield does not have the right-of-way. I'm sure the officials are going to take a look at that. We'll call them the way they are on the water. And at the top end of the race course, it is Jamie Nielsen. He is right now in lane number 1. Kelly is in 2. It is Andrew Tate in lane number 3. Watch him come off the top end of the race course. But we're still a minute 30, still a minute 35, John, until our start. So they got to go all the way down and around again.
Yeah, they're going to cruise down here, staying above that 80-mile-per-hour minimum, trying to establish and hold these lanes. Like I say, if they can get down to the first turn here about the apex when the 1 minute gun goes off, they'll be in great shape. You'll see them accelerate and start up the turn. Now, they can still change lanes until they get to the score-up buoy here, which is the entrance pin of the second turn.
Up at the top end of the race course by the floating bridge. So you've called it about 1 minute. They want to be down at the apex of the lower corner. That's where they are right now with 2-1 mark, 1 minute. And it is Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1. He is in the Legend Yacht Transport. Then it is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That's the red boat in lane 2. Coming up behind them is the predominantly white boat, the Goodman Real Estate, with Andrew Tate. And it looks like making a charge on the outside is going to be Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Flavor Pack, 37 seconds. John, as they go up the backstretch.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape right here. Actually, from J. Michael K back, they're in excellent shape, and you can see they're going to start accelerating, getting after the power here. They're going to have a little bit of a speed advantage by the time they get to Jamie up there, but he's still in control of this field right now.
Jamie Nielsen is in 1. Kelly is in 2. Tate is in 3. Eccles is on the outside. They are at the exit pin of the corner at 11 seconds. So they're going to have to hold back here just a little bit. We are inside 10 seconds. Now they start to come up on the power curve. Going to be a pretty start. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark, and we are racing in Heat 2A. The start appeared to be good, but we'll monitor the radio, and it is going to be Andrew Tate and J. Michael Kelly that are going to get down here first, and they are literally side by side. But once again, Jamie Nielsen with the lane position on the outside. They're going to come off the corner 3 wide. The start is under review. We'll keep an ear to the radio. Look at them, 3 wide down the backstretch. And now J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric starts to move out a little bit on Jamie Nielsen, but he's bringing Andrew Tate with him. The two of them are tied together as they get to the top end of the race course and enter into turn number 2. Nielsen with the lane position on the inside, but boy, John, we got a barn burner on the outside.
Yeah, we absolutely do, and Jamie's got the inside lane, but he's really having to watch himself as the other 2 boats have got overlap now, and they're starting to put the pinch on him, hoping he'll have to back off the throttle, and then they'll give them a clear advantage to move over to that inside lane.
One lap in the books with 2 more to go. It was J. Michael Kelly by about a boat length and a half, but now Tate has closed that up. He's basically pulled up alongside Mike. The two of them are going to come off the lower corner virtually side by side. Looks like one boat, but now we see a little bit of white. We can see Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate, Beacon Electric tied together up the backstretch. And watch on the outside, Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack. He's not being lost. He was in 4th place. He has now moved past Jamie Nielsen as they get to the top end of the race course. Dustin Eccles driving a mighty big race course, but our leaders still tied together as they come down to put 2 in the books, John.
Yeah, as they come down this straightaway here, J. Michael Kelly's got the catbird seat. He's, the inside lane, even though he's not in lane number 1, but he's able to, keep Andrew on his hip right there and really control the race course. The boat is accelerating good. They got great boat ride.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Andrew Tate really flew the 91 as he got down to the corner. Kelly's going to come out first. Now he's opened up a little bit of water on Andrew Tate, making about 4 or 5 boat lengths. I'm telling you, Dustin Eccles not going away in 3rd, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to run down Andrew Tate. J. Michael Kelly, you heard John Walters say he is in the catbird seat. He's sitting on an inside lane. He's just got to negotiate this north turn, come through clean, come down, and he will pick up a checkered flag and an apparent 400 big points, and that's going to be huge in the national high point standings. We'll get to that later. Here they come, top of the course, come down to put 3 up and 3 down. Checkered flag flies. It is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. He will finish first. Andrew Tate will come across in 2nd place. A hard-charging Dustin Eccles will come across in the U40, the Flavor Pack. And Jamie Nielsen, he will come down and finish in 4th place. He had that lane on the inside, but boy, it didn't take long for Kelly and Tate to move out on him, and like you say, then it got tight in there for Jamie, and they were holding him on that inside lane, and it's just tough to do.
It is tough to do, and even Dustin, he appears to have top end on everybody here, but this is a big race course, and here if you're on lane 3 or 4 like that, with only 3 laps to accomplish it in, it's difficult to drive by them. And typically, when you've got top end on everybody, you don't have the bottom end.
Boats, remember, have to sit at the dock, and a driver actually has to have a crew member with a hand on the boat at the 5-minute mark before they can take off. But just like that, John Walters, they are coming away from the dock, and that means we're inside the 5-minute mark to our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Once again, let's run down who is going to come out on the water. And the first boat out is powder blue and white. It is the U1. It is the Miss Home Street. It is driven by rookie Dylan Runny. The boat you're looking at on the screen, for those of you on the live stream, the U9, the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle yet. He's driving the white U9, Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody. The predominantly red Graham Trucking U12, driven by the rookie Bobby King. He is away and up on the race course. And joining him on the race course, I see he is pulled away from the Stan Sayers Memorial Pit area, the U60, the Beast, Unleashed, presents the Miss Thriftway with Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 2B is 3 minutes and 50 seconds away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydroplanes are on the Ted Jones race course. So now it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. John, I've been reading that script to make sure everybody's safe. What am I missing on the water?
Well, I think you're going to see Dylan make a real effort here to, get an inside lane and make a great start. He only finished 4th in that first heat there, so he's needing points. And, he dropped a few points to, the other boats there. And we're into the second round of heats here. Only a couple more chances to gather enough heats to get into the final. So I think he's going to make a real concerted effort here to get an inside lane, make a good start, and hopefully win 1st or 2nd place here. Of course, there's 3 other boats out there that have different plans, and they don't think that they want him in that final heat. So they're going to work real hard to push him around and keep him outside there. So the rookie here in the 12. With Bobby King, he's got some learning to do. He's still learning the boat. He's still learning the race course. He's still learning these other drivers. And then Corey. Corey's got a pretty good handle on things right now. And like you say, he's kind of the main piece in this puzzle right now, and nobody's really figured that out. But I think they're going to pay real close attention to him, and hopefully, in their minds, they're thinking that they're going to be able to contain him and control him, not let him run away from him. 2
minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start of our Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. Gunnar O'Farrell comes off the lower end of the race course. Behind him is Corey Peabody, and just entering the lower turn is the Miss Home Street, Dylan Runny. The boats are spread out on the backstretch right now for a Heat 2B presented by Beacon Plumbing. Looking at the clock, 2 minutes. 2 minutes until the start of Heat 2B presented by Beacon Plumbing. Top end of the race course, Bobby King. He surprised me, John, in that last heat because he moved to an inside lane, not the inside lane, but he went ahead and said, I'm going to come in here and mix it up with you guys. And he had a nice start. He had a good run in that first heat.
He did have a nice start, and like I say, he's no stranger to fast boats and having to race hard. So he's going to come down here a little bit early right now. Looks like he's going to cut across maybe, or at least he's slowing way down, trying to get an inside lane down here and be in that first turn with a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, well, what it looks like to me, if he can hold it off and he can keep his speed above 80 miles an hour and get down there, he's going to have an inside lane. He may have the inside lane. I think he's sitting tight to the buoy row right now. A minute 10, 1:10 until the start, and it is. Bobby King is sitting in lane number 1. Oh, this could be a lot of fun.
This could be a good heat.
We are at 2 seconds, 1 second mark, 1 minute to our Heat 2B presented to Seafair by Beacon Plumbing. And now off the bottom end of the race course, Bobby King in the U12, the Graham Trucking, predominantly black, trimmed in red. He is on an inside lane. Next to him in lane number 2 is the U9, the Beacon Plumbing. That's Corey Peabody. He was a winner in his first heat. Then it is going to be Dylan Runny in the powder blue and white Miss Home Street. He's going to be in lane number 3. Look for Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beast Unleashed to drop back on the outside. He's way on the outside right now. He will drop back. He has to start 5 seconds behind the clock. I like where they are, John Walters. They were 20 seconds at the entrance pin to the corner. Look at King sitting in 1. I like it. Now Dylan Runny, he's out in front of everybody, but he's not going to have a lot of boat speed. We are coming up inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be a very clean start. Corey Peabody's going to break the clock. It is a legal start, and he's going to get down to the corner first, but he's got Bobby King off to his left on the inside lane. Look for Corey to stick the white nose out first, and there he is, Corey Peabody. But he's got a left side rear view mirror full of Bobby King. I'm liking this rookie Bobby King, John.
Yeah, I definitely like Bobby. He comes from a long line of good boat racers. His dad, of course, being one of those. He's going to hang right in there. At this point in time, Corey's got enough overlap. He could take the lane, but I bet that he won't. He'll give him plenty of room down there. He's got boat speed on everybody right now. He made a great start leading these guys around the upper turn.
The boat you don't see is the Home Street, the Miss Home Street. He is on the outside. He is in 3rd position. You couldn't see him up the backstretch. Here comes Corey. 1 up, 1 down, 2 to go. Still got Bobby King on the inside. It's about a rooster tail lead for Corey Peabody. The race is going to be for 2nd place. Can Dylan Runny run down the rookie Bobby King on the inside? He's going to have to do it on a big race course, John.
He is, and there's a long ways around this race course, but Dylan's got the boat in a good lane right there. He's accelerating really hard. The boat comes off the turns, and he appears to have boat speed on Bobby when he gets to the other end there. But he runs out of straightaway just about the time that he gets in a position to make a move.
I'm telling you right now, Bobby King has closed up on Corey Peabody. He's only back by about 4, maybe 5 boat lengths, and he's got an inside lane. Bobby King is making a run out of this on the inside. King right on the buoy row. They're going to come off together. Peabody on the outside. King has taken the lead off the corner, and they're going to be side by side as they come down and put 2 in the books. Bobby King driving the daylights out of the Graham Trucking on the inside. He has moved away from Dylan Runny, who's dropped back in 3rd position. 3rd and final lap, lower end of the race course. How do we do down here? Corey Peabody found some extra speed. He's opened up about 4 boat lengths. I'll tell you what, I don't know if King surprised Corey or not, but he made a run on that last straightaway.
It's hard to say exactly if maybe he snuck up on him there, but Corey's opened up a little bit of ground here. He's given Bobby enough room inside there. He's given him a lane in about a foot, so he's got to get in there and tighten up that radius.
Now we're back to keeping an eye on Dylan Runny in 3rd. I don't know if he can run down Bobby King. He's way on the outside. Got a big race course to do it. But meanwhile, here comes the leader. Here comes our apparent winner of Heat 2B, presented by Beacon Plumbing. It is the Beacon Plumbing. Nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle. The race for second, it's a doozy, but it's Bobby King by 5 boat lengths over Dylan Runny in the home street. Holy cow, the rookie just keeps showing me more and more. Top end of the race course, here comes another rookie. We had 3 rookies in that particular heat. Didn't look like it. Looked like pretty good racing to me. Here comes Gunnar O'Farrell in the Beast. Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. I got excited about that one, John. That was kind of fun. I had a good time. Let's do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was an excellent heat. And again, I think this is just a preview of things to come tomorrow. It's going to be an outstanding boat race. And, we've already seen some of that. Really good drivers, really good equipment. The water conditions have held up all day today. Actually, this overcast makes it a little bit easier to drive the boat. You don't get that glare off the water and things. And it's been great. So I'm very happy to be here and excited about what's yet to come.
What is yet to come, because this is just a precursor to what's going to happen tomorrow. Remember, fans, 6 boats on the front row tomorrow in a 5-lap winner-take-all final. As the boat comes away from the dock, it is chartreuse, it is royal blue, it is trimmed in red. It is driven by Jamie Nielsen. Then you have the U40. They are away from the dock as well. It is blue and yellow. It is driven by Dustin Eccles. And the white boat with the orange or persimmon, if you would like, stripes on the boat, looks like the Miss Thriftway. For those of you of a certain vintage, it is the Beast Unleashed presents the Miss Thriftway. It is driven by Gunnar O'Farrell. The start of Heat 3A is just under 4 minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everybody must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course, and they are on that course now. We need you up and on the shoreline, please. So now it's time to get out of the water and enjoy the world's fastest race boats. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:30 to the start of our Heat 3A, presented by Home Street Bank. John Walters. Yesterday, the boats came out of the pit area, and immediately everybody was jumping across the race course. This morning, first heat, nobody.
Yeah, that's just the difference, I guess, depending on when they left and how they, lined up on the course there. It's so important to get the inside lane here, and they're able to go. Now, we've just got one that's cut across the infield here, and Jamie Nielsen has taken a shortcut across the course, not going through the first turn here, trying to get a position to establish that position in the inside lane.
And that's a perfectly legal maneuver. Now here comes Jamie from the backside to the front, and that too is a legal maneuver. He can only cut the race course where he just did it. He can cut back to front like he just did at the north end of the race course. He can cut front to back at the bottom end of the race course, which he did before. And he, Jamie Nielsen, is going to follow J. Michael Kelly in the U8. That's the bright red Beacon Electric. He's going to follow him down to the lower end of the race course. Meanwhile, coming off the bottom end of the race course at 2:23 until the start. 2:20 now up the backstretch. The first boat up there is the blue and yellow. That is the Flavor Pack. And Dustin Eccles, he's followed by Gunnar O'Farrell in the predominantly white Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. 2:06, John, 2:06. This is the milling period. A lot can happen over the next couple of minutes.
It definitely can, and we're a minute away from that 1 minute gun. Most of these guys are going to want to be about the apex of the first turn down here when the 1 minute gun goes off, and then they'll stroll up the back straightaway, hopefully in the lane that they've chosen. When they get at the other turn up there, they're going to be about a 12-second run from the exit pin to the starting finish line.
All right, 140 to the start. Everybody went up to the top except Jamie Nielsen again. He cut the race course again. He cut it back to front. He cut it at the top end, a legal maneuver. So here comes Dustin Eccles down the front straightaway. He's coming down here at 1:25. You heard John just say you want to be at the apex of this corner about the 1 minute mark, so they might be a little bit early. Jamie Nielsen trails both Gunnar O'Farrell and Dustin Eccles down to the corner, and then your last boat going down there, which actually I like perhaps the positioning of J. Michael Kelly. That's the red boat. He's going to be the last one down there. Fans, our boats, when they come out on the race course, they are not assigned a lane. They actually jockey for those positions, and to get those lanes, the last piece to that puzzle is you cannot drop below 80 miles per hour, and that will be determined when they take the data acquisition boxes out of the boat after the heat. The data will tell them if they dropped below 80. We saw that yesterday inside 40 seconds heading up toward the top end of the race course, John Walters.
Here they go up the back straightaway, and you can see Jamie, pulled off that magic again, got the inside lane in a good position there. I think that everybody's going to, close it up here pretty quickly, and there'll be a race literally from the exit pin to the starting line.
20 seconds until the start. We're going to go 3 times around. J. Michael Kelly, he's going to have an outside start, but he's going to come into lane 3. That's right. Gunner's got to stay on the outside. The lane was there for him. We are inside 10 seconds to our start. We are coming up on 5. We are 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and man, that one's going to be close, but I think it was good. It was the Flavor Pack and Dustin Eccles who broke the clock. I think he's going to get down to the turn first, but he and Kelly are tied together. The start is under review. Who's going to come out first? It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, but he has got J. Michael Kelly with him on the outside. He's got Jamie Nielsen on the inside. It is a legal start. It's a legal start, so everybody is good. Up the backstretch, you got 4 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, closely bunched, but look at Dustin Eccles. John Walters, he's really moving.
He definitely is, and Dustin put himself in a great position there to use that top end. He laid back just a little bit, hit the starting line with top end on everybody, got to the first turn first, and put himself in a position to control that first turn.
And here he comes down to put one in the book. You couldn't see him up the backstretch, but J. Michael Kelly driving the Beacon Electric. It's bright red. It's on the outside. And he's only back by about 3, maybe 4 boat lengths. We are on lap number 2 of 3. The race is out front. It is Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack being chased by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Do not forget about Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport is in 3rd place. He's on an inside lane. Now Dustin Eccles got Kelly back by about 5 boat lengths. There's that straightaway speed, John. You talked about it.
Yeah, he's pulling everybody going down the back straightaway there again. He gets into the turn in a nice lane, very controlled, leaving room for Jamie to get through there without any conflict. He's just trying to, come out wide as he can, push J. Michael Kelly around the race course a little bit and use up some of that time. And you can see, they get very close coming off the exit pin.
Yeah, and when he's pushing J. Michael Kelly out like that, what he's doing is leaving the door wide open for Jamie Nielsen to pick up ground and save ground on that inside lane. Kelly's driving an awfully big race course. It is Dustin Eccles off the lower end of the race course. He is in first place, but now you see Jamie Nielsen has moved up alongside J. Michael Kelly. They are going to be dead even as they come off the bottom end of the race course, and it's that big course, John, that J. Michael Kelly's having to drive that's opening the door for Jamie Nielsen.
It's a long ways around for J. Michael Kelly as he's on the outside down there, and you can see Dustin's got a little top end on. Everybody gets down there first. Now, when J. Michael has such a big area to make up the difference there, Jamie running on that inside lane's got a much shorter distance, so they come off the exit pin dead even.
Checkered flag flies for Dustin Eccles in the Flavor Pack, and now it's going to be J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric holding off a hard-charging Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport, presented by the Old Cannery Furniture Warehouse. 1, 2, 3. They come across the start-finish line. Gunnar O'Farrell, our rookie, will come home and pick up 4th place. Points of the U60 The Beast Unleashed presents Miss Thriftway. We promised some good side-by-side racing. We had it. And you've been talking about it all weekend. That 40's got some top end speed. He got it wound up that time, and he just slowly moved away from the field.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Dustin did a great job of making a start there, and you can see when he went down the back straight